Setting up the PA. Firstly, I started off with our subwoofers and put them into position. Before I put them in position, I needed to get these foam pads and place them below the subwoofers. These foam pads help reduce vibrations through the floor and also the movement of the speakers, and also damage to the floor as well. As you can see, there are wheels on them, which makes them much easier to move about. Again, I will repeat the same on the opposite side. I also foot the subwoofers when pulling them down onto the floor, just so they don't bang and to really reduce any damage made to them. Now I grab our top speakers, which are mid to highs. I make sure that they are in satellite mode, not full range, because when you plug them into the subwoofers, they have a built-in crossover. As you can see, I kind of got down on my knees and had a look in between the gaps of the speaker and subwoofer. The reason for this is they click in. Feet actually kind of sit in position, as you can see the holes in there. And it just kind of adds a bit more support to them so they can't be knocked and pushed over easier.
They'll be in the cupboard. Hopefully. If the gear's here.
What I'm saying is, with the movers,
Yes.
if Richard comes here on a Friday anyway,
All right.
if Richard is coming here on Friday, he can bring the movers with him.
Yeah, but when does musical finish?
What?
No, when does American Idiot finish?
Like a week or two ago. It's only a week long. So it's the same week as 100.
All right.
Done.
Okay.
You strapping them?
If we've got them.
Now I begin to start finding some power for the 6 speakers and subs. For this, I required 6 IEC or kettle leads and 2 4-way 13 amp extension leads. So firstly, I collected the IECs, 3 for each side, and coiled them all together.
Oh yeah, we've got to do the strip lights as well, haven't we? That's if it's possible. Down the sides looks better than across there.
Yeah, do the sides. Do 2 sides. Wasn't that difficult, was it?
Takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got 2 rollers now. You done with that projector, mate? You done with that?
Who's doing a live feed? Go hire one.
That is the hard one. At least one.
Hire another one.
To power them, plugging them in from top to bottom. It doesn't matter how they're plugged in, just in this instance I did top to bottom for power. Make sure they're switched off as well. Then I had a 13 amp 4-way extension lead ready, and I tried to hide it away in an old power distribution box, just because I thought it would make it look a little bit neater instead of dumping it behind our speakers. So once again, I had it there, plugged in our IECs, then pushed the lid down on top, and unfortunately, because the plugs were quite high, it actually caused them to turn into a trip hazard. So I kind of went back to my initial idea of just basically dumping them behind the speakers. I then went over to the opposite side of the speakers and continued and repeated what I had just done on the stage left side.
Perfect. If Ed, is anyone who's mixing for you on Monday?
I then needed to find another
Sound.
13 amp 4-way extension lead for 2
About
power
AV?
speakers.
There's a black one
but
over there.
as one of my
Yeah,
friends
well-
pointed out, there was one over there in the centre of the hall.
Effort.
Should I try and copy the show file over? Are we editing on your map today? Both, probably.
I'm not running Magic Key or anything on
I
mine.
plug it in down here, obviously having that part switched on, and then I run cable along with our multi-core, which was also pinned in against the wall. I then tried to keep the cables going nice and neat straight across the stairs, and at the end they were taped down with white gaffer tape so they could be seen. I then plugged them in. I then went to find some XLR cable
How is yours going, Boogie, Jeremy?
to start
Nice
daisy
sound.
chaining our
I just got
speakers
collect
and
evidence.
sending them to the
Need to
desk
get
through the
photos of my
multi-core.
box. I just need to type a few things. Okay. To do coursework.
I also
need to
tried
do
to use the
coursework.
correct XLRs. For example, I don't want to use a 10 metre XLR just to go the
Well, you can
distance
come
of
in, but
30
no one else will be
centimetres.
In the nicest
So I tried
sense.
to use very short XLRs to send signal to the back of these speakers.
What? Mark Gerber.
You go line in, then through to the middle, then you go line in through the middle and into the subwoofers. This is called daisy chaining, having them all going through one cable. The reason for this is you don't have to spend the extra money on buying a
small
crossover because the
Don't like
subwoofers
using
have
big
them
ones,
built in.
but-
The subwoofer helps divide the signals, having the low frequency only coming through the subwoofers and the mid and high going through the
I like
tops.
using smaller ones.
Again, I was scavenging it for smaller XLRs because
No,
personally
it's
I
nice.
do not like using really big ones for such a short distance.
And then I've got a slight small version of Simmer,
Right.
but I haven't got the effect poster in mine.
Ah, okay.
And here I repeated the same process. I then needed to find an XLR cable, and I was trying to decide on kind of a big or a smaller one, depending on the distance that it had to go. The stage left stack had to be cabled all the way to stage right in the wings to go into our multi-core. So again, I go line into the subwoofers, then I trail a cable across the apron of the stage. I then left a little bit of excess, just so it
Can
would
you
go
pull the
across the
cable
floor.
tight?
And then I asked my friend just to go down to the opposite side
No,
and
you pull it,
pull the cable for
So
me,
it goes up against the wall.
so it would
Pull
make it nice and
Keep
tight,
pulling. There you
and
go.
also
That's it.
just cleaner and less of a trip hazard before we taped it down.
Need to run a cable. This one.
Once that was done, I then retrieved another XLR to come out of the stage right speakers and to go into the multi-core with the stage left.
Do these curtains have to be closed yet?
I know.
I'm just like,
The
keep
multi-core is
walking
placed
round.
behind this curtain for easier access, and also it's hidden out of the way. I lay the
What?
cable neatly on the floor and then plug it into group B, as that is
Oh, the
stage
TVs, yeah, it's
left but auditorium right. Then stage right but auditorium left will go into group A. And make sure the cable's nice and neat, hiding under the multi-core.
Anyone notice this little jack extension here? Like a jack goes to the opposite side.
Once that was done, I went over to the desk. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I also recorded an RCA to 1/4 inch jack.
I'll have another look in my bag.
Oh, there you go. It's 2 in here.
I went
Oh, yes,
went
but
through
they're in
2
the wrong
individual
place.
channels. I went
Yeah,
through
okay.
left and right so I could get more control for the PA. In this instance, black was left and red was right.
Great. Pardon you.
Because unfortunately our main mix in our desk doesn't work, we went through groups. And after having to use grouping, you have to change the channeling on each independent fader. So you have to send them to the
So
groups
plugged in.
instead of sending them to the mix.
Bit of rock acoustic. Need to turn that side on. Lamp, it hasn't lamped on. Ooh, it's a nice hum. It's the ground loop, ain't it?
What does the red power like mean?
Huh?
Does the red power like mean?
Off.
Why just turn it on?
What's the buzz for?
One of them's not plugged in.
Down on you and I feel her. Does she speak? 'Cause the love that she gave that we made wasn't able to make it off of. Hold me until you die, till you die.
I need something.
This is where I realised that I need to send them through the group channel
Wait.
instead of sending them to the mix.
It's not fair.
How long have I got it for now? You better look it out now.
I then set the EQ back to 0.
Me off when this is my adapter.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't actually know if it still works. It should do, but I haven't checked it yet. Yeah, and then there's a radio file.
So firstly I cleared the stage out of the way, positioned the monitors in the way. I then collected up 2 XLRs.
Did you follow the right instructions? That's so fucking annoying. Apple sent me an email the other day.
Mm.
Saying I have to change my password. I'm like, fucking no. Password's not here. I really hope that
I love how coiled everything is.
I then again went backwards from the speakers, so I was going in and then going into the out of the first monitor, then going in and going from an output into the multi-core. I then needed to find two IECs
Dash at the car this morning when I drove
and
in.
plug them into the monitors.
Adam, this isn't your phono, is it? Not phono. Kettle lead.
Yeah, it's-
Can I nick it quickly?
Nah.
Just to quickly plug that in and then
Oh,
give
yeah.
it back.
Yeah, as long as I get it back.
Yeah.
The one that's not got the code finished is the Cattle Pain. That's the initial variant. What?
I tried to trail the cables to the centre just to keep kind of the mess in the middle. The shortest cable I could find, unfortunately, was a 5 metre just to travel the distance of 2. I then needed to find a 13 amp, at least a 2-way,
I know it's right.
to power the monitors.
What's the job? I thought they fired that. They did before.
Yes. Pardon? No. Sorry. Need a spare plug.
Again, trying to keep my cables neat, I went along with the
It seems
previous
Tommy's disappeared.
XLR along the side, putting the extension lead in the centre,
Tommy.
and also leaving 2 plugs spare for guitarists or anybody who needs to use amps in the middle of the stage for performance.
Ooh la la. Alright, let's actually see if I can do this.
Once this was done, I then got the XLR and plugged that into the multi-core into Group C.
I'll try both. Oh yeah. 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 What, Tommy? Pardon? I don't know.
I was getting rid of all the excess
Oh,
cable.
yeah, you have to go
I
into,
would then make
edit
my
the
way back to the
effects, don't
desk and test the entire PA.
Excuse me. I need to go under your legs.
Powered the monitors and set their levels and gain to half.
I just remembered it. We've got a side shot of the BNC phone, the big photos at the moment. We're all from my house. That's from fucking pool table, got me 25 quid worth.
Do you have any cables?
Big 5. There's a little marina. There's a little marina 5.
You know they use Grand MA and Resolume together.
Yeah. What you need, sir.
That's what they use.
Those things are
That's what they use for their pixel mapping.
Oh shit, I just realised.
I don't care.
Oh, we'll go for a foot drone.
Matrix extend doesn't matter. 6.
I'm out of your foot, so then I'll be in the hole. What?
So first I checked the main front of house, left and right was working, and I was getting a correct level from both. That was me checking left and right, then me checking monitors on stage, and all together. And then leave the desk and have the levels set. And I walk out to the centre of the room to check that the audio is balanced in my ears, and then make my way on stage to check that the monitors are giving equal output. Again, centre of the hall, I walk all the way back, making sure the sound making sure that the levels sound equal in my ears.